Hello everyone and welcome to another historic video. So today we're going to be playing Best of 3. It's been a while since I played Best of 3, and to kick things off, I'm going to be playing Auras because the last card that I want to take a look at from Explorer Anthology is Ethereal Armor. It's a 1 mana enchantment, it's also an aura. You probably have seen a similar effect to this called All That Glitters, but now here's a 1 mana version of it, which is going to be extremely powerful in a deck like this. And not to mention, we got mana confluence, which means that playing a 3-color deck isn't going to be a stretch anymore. So I present you Abzan Aura. So in the past, I have actually done an Abzan Aura before. One thing that bugged me the most was probably the mana base, because you'd have to play something like a Triome, which meant that you were playing with a tap land. But one thing I really liked about going Abzan was the fact that we get to play another creature that was similar to Core Spirit Dancer and SRAM. Outside of Core Spirit Dancer, you have Lightpaws and SRAM, which are legendary creatures. So having multiple copies on the board can be a little bit tough sometimes. So when you go Absent, for example, it does open up another creature, which is called Sithis Harvest Hand. You would normally see Sithis in an Enchantress deck where you combo it off with 9 lives and just playing a lot of enchantments, but auras happen to be also enchantment as well. So splashing that green color opens up another creature so that our deck flows a bit better, even though we're playing a lot of legendary creatures. So this deck is a pretty straightforward deck. You just deploy Core Spirit Dancer, Lightpaws, SRAM, or Sithis on the board, and you just keep putting enchantments on one of our creatures and attack them for a lot of damage, because now with Ethereal Armor, even without Core Spirit Dancer, which the deck really needed before in order for this deck to do a lot of damage, because All That Glitters is a 2-mana card, it's a little bit clunky sometimes. So having that effect on a 1-mana card really increases that clock in being able to kill your opponent before opponent finds an answer. And speaking of answers, there's a lot of Rakdos midrange going on at the moment, especially in Best of 3, and many decks are playing black color, which means that you're going to see a lot of Thought Seizes, you're going to see a lot of removal spells such as Fatal Push, and that's another reason why I'm playing black instead of blue, so that we can play things like Thought Seizes, Inquisition of Kozilek, to snipe those removal spells so that we can safely deploy our creatures and then attach something like Kaya's Ghost Form so that we can protect our creatures. And this also allows us to have something like Claim to Fame in the sideboard, so that in game 2 and 3 versus some heavy removal spell decks, we can exhaust our opponent's removal spells and bring back our cards again from the graveyard onto the battlefield. So there's some heavy recursion in this deck, especially with Loris as well. And the last addition to this deck is the Audacity. It's a 1-mana enchantment aura, which makes our creature get +2 and have trample. When this card goes to the graveyard from the battlefield, you get to draw a card. So again, versus heavy removal spell decks, when they do draw those removal spells and remove your creatures, if Audacity was attached to those creatures, it'll make you draw a card, and hopefully you found another creature to play. So that's the idea with the card. As for the sideboard, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. We have 3 copies of Curse of Silence. Normally, I wouldn't play Curse of Silence just because Historic is such a vast format. People are playing so many different cards, and the meta isn't really established truly. But some of the tier 1 decks are pretty much well known, bringing something like Curse of Silence versus some combo decks, especially, that plays the Ominous Traveler. Even though Ominous Traveler gets a cost reduction from the Trap Finder, they're still going to have to pay additional 2 mana. And the effect stacks, so if you play multiple Curse of Silences, Ominous Traveler does get the extra tax from the Curse of Silence. So definitely an interesting card here that I feel like it's very necessary in the sideboard of this deck. As for the next card, I wasn't really sure if I should be playing Fatal Push or have something like Dead Weight instead. I guess if you're running into a lot of mono reds, I guess Dead Weight could be a lot more useful. The reason why I'm playing Fatal Push is because in case we do get the Revolt from our creature being removed, we can remove something like a 4-mana card. And what's a card that really destroys us is Sheoldred. And versus Ominous Traveler decks, having an instant speed removal spell is necessary. So that's why I have 2 copies of it in the deck. Then we got 2 copies of Hushbringer. This card says no to enter the battle effect creatures. So versus something like Angel decks or Goblin decks, for example, this is something that you can bring. And like I mentioned before, by going black, we have access to Claim to Fame, which is a fantastic card for our deck since it increases that redundancy in our deck, being able to get back a creature from the graveyard onto the battlefield. And 2 copies of Reprobation. Like I said before, we have Fatal Push for Shaldred, but you're not going to be able to activate it too much. So we have 2 copies of Reprobation, which can make Shaldred lose all abilities and make it into a 0/1 creature. Then we got 2 more copies of Warbriar's Blessing. We have 1 copy of it in the deck. This lets our creature fight another creature on the battlefield. Obviously, our creatures are going to win because since it's going to be attached with a bunch of auras. And lastly, we have 1 copy of Alliance's Hearse. There's not too many decks at the moment that really just rely on graveyard at the moment, aside from something like Croxa, for instance. And I wouldn't bring Alliance's Hearse versus a Croxa deck. Too narrow for you to bring Alliance's Hearse, and if you draw this card and they don't have Croxa, it doesn't really feel good. But that's going to be it for the intro. If you are going to be playing this in best of 1, I suggest you removing either 2 copies of Inquisition Kozilek or 2 copies of Thoughtseizes for something like 2 copies of Claim to Fame, and maybe shave off some other cards for 2 copies of Hushbringer in there as well, since there's a lot of life gain creature decks in best of 1 format. But if you guys enjoyed the video so far, leave a like, comment below, subscribe. I'll be jumping into some historic ranked games to see how the deck does, and let's hop on over. All right. No creatures. Mulligan. No creatures. Mulligan. Okay. This game is trolling me. Let's not show them what deck we're playing. That was horrendous. That was incredibly unfortunate. Wow. We have a creature this time, but we only have 1 land. Okay, much better. See what they're playing. Rule. Target creature you control fights. Okay, so we have to get rid of Fry. Now we get to safely deploy our core Spirit Dancer. And this is what I mean by splashing black. It's just so good for this deck compared to if you went blue, for instance. So good. Really interesting that they're playing Kavu with only 2 land types. Is it not just Gruul? Like, what is going on here? Also, this is a pretty cool card, Bushwhack. And they get a forest. I feel like they should have saved this, right? Sentinel's Eyes. I will tap this for white in case I get a green aura. Okay. Okay. Well, in that case, let's just do this. Okay, we got to see more of our opponent's deck. They're playing a Kavu with seemingly only 2 colors. Do I want to play another Warbriar Blessing? I would normally bring Curse of Silence against mid-range decks, but I have no idea what they're playing. I think we are pretty favored though. I'm gonna bring 2 claims. Um, and let's see. Maybe like a copy of Cartouche and copy of all that glitters. I do want Thoughtseizes and Inquisition. It looks like they're playing some sort of like a mid-range match, mid-range deck, so beautiful. Wow. Soul of Windgrace. Destroy target land. This is what they're probably going to be doing next turn, which is fine. We have another plane. Um, what don't I want from them? I'm gonna get rid of Bushwhack because they can look for their red source, right? And they're missing red with only force here. Okay, never mind. Let's see, is it the Emperor or the Spirit Dancer? I'm gonna lead with the Spirit Dancer here. Because I like drawing more than like getting this off. And now I'll play the light and play the Kaya's Ghost form. I like grabbing cards that I already have in my hand because of Light Paw. I'll grab the Audacity in case they have a removal spell. I think that's probably the best thing to do, right? I get to draw another card. If they get rid of this because of this card. When this card gets put into graveyard, you draw a card. It looks like they have a removal spell. So although I can't go Sithis and Audacity this turn, I don't want to actually let's lead like this. Yeah, it looks like they have something. Okay. What could this be? Maybe they missed out on the timing. could be Boseiju as well. I'm gonna play this as white swords. Because I don't think I ever want, like, double green. Okay. What's funny is opponent also already knew what we were playing because we mulliganed like 4 times, right, on the first game. And they took their sweet time sideboarding, and the first card that I see when I thought sees them is a Fry. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna keep this hand just because we have Thoughtseize. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept this hand. Grixis. Hmm. I think I have to get rid of the blast because that's an instant speed 2 damage. If we ever get the Sithis down. That's so good. I think we lost this one. Unless we draw Core Spirit Dancer next turn. Even then, we are kind of dealing with like... okay. Just like that. We're still not in the clear yet because the Ledger Shredders. Wow, they're just going to... Okay. Guess that's good for me. You know, I might be able to kill them soon with Sajiri's Shelter if they mess up. Hmm. But this is dealing 8, potentially 10. Hmm. Uh... I feel like this is really tough. I mean, I could just push for damage here, I guess. But at the same time, this is a... If they have... If they connive twice into, like, no lands, we might lose. So we'll see, we'll see. Can they connive twice without seeing any land? It's possible. What? What? No way, right? Okay. I do want, like, Curse of Silence on, like, Fatal Pushers. Fatal Push, I guess. I also want Claim. Okay, I don't know how we won that, but we did. That's all that matters. Like, I guess they had all lands in their hand. What about Unlicensed Hearse? Like, I feel like it's too narrow. Like, who cares about Croxa, right? What about Fatal Push? No, they're gonna be more control-y. I don't think I care about their creatures. So we want Kaya's Ghost Form. These are staying. I think Audacity can go. I'm not sure about Warbrier's Blessing either. Pretty sure this can go. I don't know. Although, like, a 1, I feel like 1 is fine. Maybe it's the Audacities. I think all that glitters can go. Hmm. Maybe it's the Audacities. Yeah. It's not like they play a lot of creatures either. Like, we don't have to trample over anything. Okay, this is a nice hand. I like this hand a lot. Ooh. So they only have one Watery Grave. I think it actually might be Ledger Shredder. Like, they're only gonna be able to Inquisition me once because of their mana base. We have both Sithis and SRAM. And I think we just play the SRAM now. So they're looking for land. Looks like they found it. Okay, that's a bit of a tilter, but... Hmm... Another Thoughtseize. I think we lost this one. I think if we had like a Core Spirit Dancer there, I think we might have had a chance. But okay, so how are you feeling about like Fatal Push and stuff? I don't know. I think I'm gonna cut a Curse of Silence because they play like two different removals, like Fatal Push and Fiery Impulse. Maybe we just want it out and have Audacity and maybe a copy of Fatal Push. Okay, that's okay. Like, uh, we need a black source. We need a black source or a land. Nice. I want to Inquisition first, right? Or do I want to claim now? Oh, that's pretty bad because I need to get rid of the Thoughtseize, but they get the Electrostatic Blast, which is not good. We also need another black source. They got... Okay. Yeah, we need another black source. Okay, since the opponent passed, so I'm just going to Loris into my hand. Nice. Double Fiery Impulse. Okay, this is gonna be a grind. It's gonna be a grind for sure. Well. Gotta let them use their removal spell. Also need lands. Lands, creatures, something. Something, something. We need another land. Okay. I guess a Kozilek here would be nice as well. Ooh, another claim you say. I like that. Now we could get a land next turn. No, not a tap land. Not a tap land. Looks like they have a removal spell for Loris. Another Fiery Impulse, sure. Don't do it. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, we're due for, like, some creatures, right? We've only seen one creature so far in the top 17 cards. No way. Not like this. What a top deck. Oh, I feel like we got pretty unlucky this game. I think we lost this one. Unfortunate. It's a bit late because now they're just gonna kill us. Unless we get... way to get flying? Do you have another removal spell, sir? Okay. That's a tough game. That's a tough game. I do really feel like we got a bit unlucky there. Only one creature in top 17. They have infinite ledger shredders every single game, which is really good for... really good versus aura decks. Okay, this is gonna hurt. Turn 1 mana confluence. That is gonna hurt a lot. This is... Mono Green Devotion? Question mark? Nice. Perfect. This is a Boseiju though, so we'll see. Um... Hmm. What should I do here? Just I could push for damage. Okay. We'll push for damage. They'll probably want to Boseiju here. Let me just read real quick. That player may search their library for a land card with basic land type, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle. So I can pay life. All right. Okay. I feel like this matchup should be pretty easy. I wish this was deadweight instead of fatal push. Another Warbriar's Blessing. What about Hushbringer? They have a Cavalier of Thorn. Probably that's it, right? This does also block Kahira. I mean, not Kahira. What is that 3-mana card? When it comes on the battlefield, you draw a card. It does block? Maybe we want that? Let's go down on Sithis. Let's say 2 of those. I think we want that. Flying. Like a Sentinel's Eyes. Actually, Kaya's Ghost form is probably really, really bad in this matchup, now that I think about it. Curse of Silence might be... no, they have just too much mana anyways. Okay. You see a creature, you keep. You see a creature, you keep. Okay, so they do play Kiora. That's the card that I was talking about. Do we care about Kiora? I feel like I don't. I feel like I don't. We're getting a bit flooded. So this is giving 3/3. So they can technically block. Oh, I made a mistake. Yeah. I was supposed to play a land and then tap it. I mean, that's a hindsight. Okay, let's see what they get. Chalice of the Void. Okay, that's a pretty good one. I think we lost. Okay, so... Maybe we want Inquisition. I don't know. I think our sideboard's fine, honestly. We just need to go first. Okay. This is a really nice hand. Spirit Dancer or Lightpaw? Always Spirit Dancer. Okay. Now we're talking. Hmm. I usually don't like putting Ethereal Armor on Core Spirit Dancer, or like all that glitters. But that's the only thing I can do here. Okay. I feel like I won already. I don't think I can save Lightpaw. I don't think Lightpaw is attacking here. Okay, never mind. Lightpaw's attacking here. Yeah, this game's over. Do they have to block? Two, three, four, five. They have 5 mana, 6 mana. Going to the festival. It's probably lost. Okay.